Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2018 Season 16 First Year Player Draft. My name is Sam Skibbe, Commissioner of the SWBL. Alongside me is
Peter Leicht, Chief Financial Officer.
Spencer Bogad. I'm not sure what my role is, but I'm on the front office.
Yes, indeed you are.
Utility.
And we have the captain of the Brewer squad and kind of a co-captain, really. You know, you really should take over for Chris for the Twins as well. And we are so excited to be here. We have some great rookies that we would like to go through and figure out what teams are going to be drafted to this season for the SWBL. Before we start, guys, we are 2 months away. What's something you are so excited for this specific season of Season 16 of the SWBL?
You know, I'm really looking forward to this draft specifically and the new players that'll bring. I think this is kind of a lot of people aren't as hyped up about this draft this year. Different format, you know, various reasons, but I think this could be one of the best, make one of the biggest impacts in the history of the league.
All right, very good. Spencer?
Yeah, I agree with that. I also am excited for the radar gun that we're bringing out to the league. I think it'll provide some needed stability to just our process, because the league's kind of been changing the past few years, and I think it's a right step in the right direction.
Speaking of the speed gun, we have it right here. You know, I pulled it out as well because, you know, I think the front office has officially decided. We've gone through, took the average of our votes of the front office, and I think we're going with a 53 mile an hour speed limit. So I know that's a little bit of a weird number, but anything 54 or over would cause for warning. And I know a lot of people are concerned, like if you get this speed gun out and people are just going to hold it out there. But to be honest, I feel like I'm going to keep this speed gun really with me the whole time. We don't want people to just be up there right away giving that person. I think it should be more of the old way of doing things. You know, give the heat warning checks. Be a little more, you know, gentlemanly rules as we go along. But if it's continuous, then I could see, yes, you can go for the speed gun. So I think people are really concerned about having the, you know, 3 strike you're out rule. But in the end, it's going to be like 5 or 6 strikes by the time, because I feel like people would give chances for a heat warning in bigger situations even as well. So what do you guys think about that?
I agree. I think it's going to be something that's just in our back pocket, maybe literally. You know. But it'll provide a little comfort, a little more regulation. But all in all, gentleman's game, it might not really be used at all.
I don't think so either. Maybe playoffs a little bit. But
yeah. We'll just have to find out.
Exactly. And the schedule was just released today, actually. Ooh. And there were some things that stuck out to me, and actually all 3 of them involved our teams. So I'll start with mine. There are going to be 5 games for the Royals on Saturday. It's the only team to have 5 games in a day. Wow. You obviously know that myself, Gus, and Ty are on the same team. Gus and Ty have to teach school. Blue Springs had a lot of snow days in Kansas City. So they're actually going to be teaching all the way up until about 4:30 or 5 o'clock that day on opening day. So they will not be able to make it to Friday, so 5 games on Saturday. Do you think this will cause a big effect for the Royals?
Well, Saturdays are for the boys, so I think you all will be just fine.
All right.
Yeah, you know, education is important, and I think it's really just going to be another day for the Royals.
All right, very good. And then with the Brewers, an interesting fact that Peter just found out, actually, the first 5 games of their schedule are all home games. And the last 5 games are all away games. Completely did not know that happened. We're talking about possibly switching one of the division games, because it wouldn't matter. You just switch them, and it would be a little more mixed up for you. But would you mind, Peter, if it stayed 5-5? Like, what's your thought process there?
I think it really doesn't matter too much. I know historically, away teams seem to win potentially a majority of the games, especially the key games. I know a lot of the champions have been away. Yeah. I think it's just normal game. If we lose, it'll be for a different reason.
Every year of the franchise era, the away team has won the championship. And there's only been one home team ever in the playoffs of the franchise era to win a game. It's pretty crazy.
Wow.
All right.
Those are
Spencer,
numbers.
And then the Twins. One of the days you guys play a 7:15 p.m. on Saturday, and then a 7:15 a.m. on Sunday. Now, I know you'll probably still stick around for like the skills competition on Saturday night, so really the late game doesn't matter. And like you said earlier, I believe that a lot of people like to play the early games because there is going to be perfect daylight for you all the way around, and it's not quite sun peeking over yet. Do you think that'll be a problem for you guys, or do you think you guys are okay with that?
We're okay with that. Nothing phases us.
Perfect. All right. Big words coming from the Twins as well. You know, we are actually going to get all these picks going in, and it's going to really finalize our rosters. The only 2 teams that we're still having trouble with are the Rockies and the Expos. Captains Blake Spencer and Kevin Wheatsucker have yet to sign any of their free agents back. So technically, people like Brett Spencer, Kyle Breida, Grant Boyd, Brian Kenny, Jimmy Nelson, all these people are really free agents that anybody could sign. John Leicht, your brother, is technically still a free agent. Would anybody wrap these guys up or scoop them up? Or should anybody go for
Do you think
that?
that there's some disputes going on with the ownership?
Who knows?
The players?
Maybe Blake and Kevin are having some trouble keeping their players happy.
Winning gets to their head. You know?
Who knows? I don't
figure
know.
it out.
Well, I'm sure that Blake and Kevin are just taking their time, and Blake will probably do the same thing where he signs all of his players in one contract under the same way, but who knows? But we're hoping that they sign them soon. But after today, most of our rosters should be completely set. With that being said, before we get to the draft order and all of the possible picks of the people in this year's draft, let's put officially the SWBL Astros on the clock. Now they got this, all right. They got this pick, guys, from the SWBL Athletics in a trade for a 6-pack of beer.
Congrats.
So congratulations to the Astros for gaining the first 2 picks in the draft, really. So they are on the clock. Let's head over and take a look at the draft order before we begin. In the 2018 first-year player draft, the first overall pick goes to the Astros via trade from the Athletics. Then the Astros have the second overall pick in their regular spot, followed by the Diamondbacks in their spot, and then the Diamondbacks via trade from the Twins, and then the Royals to end the first round. In the second round of the 2018 first-year player draft, the Athletics will make their only pick of the draft, followed by the Astros with the third pick, Twins with their only pick, and then the Royals to close out the draft. And guys, that was the draft order for this year's first-year player draft. And let's kind of break down our available rookies. We have 9 rookies, as you see the 9 picks there. So 9 rookies that are going through this year. 3 of them are kind of hometown brand new guys. So it's good to get that kind of feel for it. And those are the people that will be eligible, obviously, for the NWLA All-Rookie teams if they do well. And then you have 2 prospect picks. These are going to be people that are coming through the pipeline for the Wiffleball League. And then 4 people that are coming from out of state. These are brand new out-of-state players that we've met at the national tournament. All great guys coming. We wouldn't have people come if we didn't already like them and think that they would fit in with our league. So 9 people, and it just so happens the first pick from the Astros is now in, and wouldn't you believe it? There's probably no surprise to you guys, but Stephen Farkas is selected first to the Astros. Wow. They traded up just to get him, and Spencer, you've seen Stephen Farkas in person on a fast pitch level. And his numbers don't lie. In the WSEM went 11-1 last year, a .95 ERA, 177 Ks for the holy balls of the WSEM team. So I mean, this kid is lights out fast pitch. But obviously the question is, can he do SWBL medium monitored style?
Well, I hear holy balls, I say holy cow. That's an excellent pick by the Astros.
It's a great pick.
I agree. We'll have to see how his transition from fast pitch to medium pitch works out for him. Players in the past that have come to this league have kind of struggled in their first year. But he is a very fierce competitor. He may scare his opponents, so that may help. Just by, he can yell loud sometimes.
He can. He gets competitive.
But yeah, I like the pick. Astros need some talent, and there's nothing wrong with taking the shotgun approach and closing your eyes and maybe trying to get good one time.
And the 3 of us are former national hitters of the year, so hitting is something that you know well, Peter. And Farkas, in his fast pitch league, had 15 home runs, 42 RBIs, and batted .304 just last year. So those are pretty good numbers, using a bigger bat, but also pretty good numbers when considering the pitching side of things for one of the best pitching leagues in the country. So will that be able to translate to a hitting league like ours?
I do wonder that. I know we saw Jimmy Cole have a rough adjustment last year.
True.
I mean, you hear Farkas, you think of the pitching, and Tyler Flackney comes to mind as one who maybe didn't work out as expected, and I'm not even thinking about the pitching anymore. I'm thinking about the bat. I think that pitching, if it's great or if it's not, I think he's still going to be a valuable hitter based on his experience.
Yes, I think so too. I think that team, more than anything, needs the experience. And Astros were actually again on the clock, and actually their second pick came in while we were already here. This was their original pick, and Benware is on the ball with these picks, and his next pick is actually someone that you know, Spencer, your cousin, Chris Oberlohr.
Oh, congrats.
So, yes.
Congrats, fam.
And Chris obviously played in, before we get started, the Diamondbacks are now on the clock. Trent Stepp is now on the clock. But Chris obviously came to our Wiffleball league and put up some great numbers, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say so. He's one of those guys that kind of adapts to his element. He's got some good size. He's about 6'1", plays a little bigger than he actually is. Yeah. Athleticism, speed may be a question for him, but he's got some pop, and he's got a really good team chemistry too. So that's a good pick.
You know, we like Chris a lot. Played on our softball team as well, so we've been getting to know him. And he's a great guy in general. But is this a good sign for the Astros? And I'll tell you this, Peter. He will only be there for half the season, but don't you think having Chris for 5 games hitting will help the Astros as they go along in their season?
Oh yeah, I do. I know somewhere Benware is smiling. This is the kind of guy that he wants on his teams, even if he's only there for half the games. That's fine. It's just, I heard that the Twins really, really wanted him, so now I'm just wondering how awkward this is. And I'm going to take this Jill shot. Good job, Brian.
Orange for the Astros, indeed. So already rolling. The Astros roster is building, and they still have one more pick to go in this draft. I mean, Brian was maybe the most improved player from last year.
Yeah.
Had better averages than some of the superstars in this league. And you couple that with kind of Rob and Cam can have good days, more bad days than good, but they can have good days. You have Matt Rosner in the field, makes a few errors here and there, but is getting better. He needed the help. He needed the people around him to come and get better, especially with Pennsylvania guys not going. So these are 2 good picks to add to the roster. Jeremy Worrell was one of our few national rookie team list players. Son of Todd Worrell, a former relief pitcher of the St. Louis Cardinals. And Jeremy Worrell has committed to being here the whole time.
Wow.
So when you think about having Brian Benware, Farkas, Chris Oberlohr, and Jeremy for 5 games, those 4 for 5 games, not a bad roster.
Not bad.
So, all right. The Diamondbacks pick is in. The first Diamondbacks pick, Trent has made his first pick, and they're actually on the clock again after this first pick. And guys,
Wow, that's back.
I'm very excited to announce this pick. With the 3rd pick in the first round of the 2018 first-year player draft, the SWBL Diamondbacks select Chris Neumann. He's coming. Wow. Chris Neumann. This is 3 years coming, guys. 3 years that Chris Neumann has tried to come to this league and be a part of it. We have been heartbroken every year when no team has taken a chance on it. There's just been no room. But finally, Trent Steffes and the Diamondbacks are taking that chance. What have you seen from Chris? I know he's been a photographer for the NCAA tournament. You know, his numbers were in Maquon last year. He played in Maquon for the Keg Crushers. But Brew City Wiffleball, he's the commissioner of. But what do you like about Chris? What have you seen from Chris?
Well, I like Chris because he has that can-do attitude. If he fails the first time, he's going to get back and try it again. That's huge for the D-Bags because they're losing the heart and soul of their team and Jimmy Cole, and they need to replace that heart and that light. And I think that this player could do that for them.
Where did Jimmy go?
Jimmy went to the Twins.
Very good. Yes,
Yeah.
filling that void. Okay. Anything to add, Peter? And
Yeah.
this is coming from a guy who loves beer.
Yeah.
And loves the Brewers because he's from Wisconsin.
His league's name's the Brew City.
The Brew City. His logo is all about the Brewers. I think he's going to be your guys' best friend.
Yeah, we love Brew City, and I've been following him for a few years, as you mentioned, but just the situation that we're in, we have this depth already, and we've had to see a lot of players pass by that we thought would represent the organization well,
Yeah.
but where we just have this large core that we continue to stick with.
But I still think that you guys will hit it off quite quickly.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Stout and Newman are going to be
best friends
definitely
by the
boys.
end of the year. All
We'll be
right.
up at the Steffes level.
And the second pick, the Diamondbacks have actually traded for the Twins. They traded to the Twins for a bottle of rosé.
Yes.
So I hope you enjoy that over the
won't.
weekend. You won't?
No.
Okay. So that must be for Chris.
It must be.
Okay, so
be.
that's his managerial decisions. But the Twins gave up their first round and got the Diamondbacks second round, but the Twins were only using one of them. So really it was just about the bottle of rosé.
That's right, I guess.
But the Diamondbacks, with their second pick in the first round, are going to be taking a name that just came into the registration pool, was Evan Bischoff from the WSEM transferring to HRL. WSEM calls this guy the traitor of their league, going to HRL, playing for the HRL NCAA tournament. He pitched against us in the NCAA tournament in our semifinal matchup against the HRL Twin Cities organization. And, Little Lee's a great guy. In his league in the HRL, he played with Trent on the Mariners, and he had 6 home runs, 16 RBIs, 275 average, 5-3, 103 Ks, and a 2.08 ERA. And HRL and the SWBL have a lot of similarities. They're all about the long ball. Pitching speed is a little bit faster in HRL, but with this new pitching speed for us, it kind of has the similar rules. So those numbers could transfer, and Little Lee might be a solid addition to this squad. What have you seen from Evan at Nationals?
Honestly, before we get to that, I don't like this pick for them. I think that this is a reach. I had him at a second round grade, not a first round grade. But
So they should have kept this. No reason to trade up.
I don't know. A team of desperation is going to do desperate things.
That's true.
But he may be able to provide a spark. I wouldn't expect much out of him.
All right. And Peter, anything to add about this newcomer to the league, or just to be exciting to see a new face?
No, I think it's going to be exciting. He's a relatively big name, so I think I agree with Spencer. But you never know. We've got an exciting class.
Known for his ability to hit the strike zone, but against us, walkathon.
Yeah. Throwing strikes is a good thing for hitters in this league.
That's true. You're going to need it. All right. So, moving on. The next pick in the first round is the SWBL Royals. And Gus made his pick just recently. And the SWBL Royals, this is an interesting pick because you're coming from a team that's losing Tyler Flackney, a team that went 10-0 last year. Tyler Flackney finishing second in the MVP voting only to his teammate. So it's crazy how you're losing a talent like that, and this pick might be pretty important considering the Royals got nothing in free agency. So with this pick, the SWBL Royals select from Wisconsin, like Chris Neumann, different league, the commissioner of the Maquon League, Mike Boyles. So Mike Boyles is a relatively well-known name in the wiffleball community, not so much for his skill, but more for his prowess on the media side of things, and Kevin Pulley and him might have a lot to share.
Yeah. I think coming out of Wisconsin, well, we're not sure what we're going to get out of this player. He's put up a lot of good numbers over the years. A lot of people around the country know him. They put a big emphasis on sabermetrics and exit velocity up in Wisconsin. Not as big as a deal here since we have that downward slope of the field.
Sure.
So we'll have to see how his numbers translate, but at this spot, I think it's a pretty good selection.
All right. And Peter, anything to add about Mike?
No, I agree. I think, more important than his experience in the game of wiffleball, I think he'll be solid, but I hear he's a solid all-around guy. Definitely in that fan favorite, best friend category. I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings.
He will be one of those players that we were glad to have. He bought a wiffleball hat and polo last year, just over the phone. Texted, sent money over because he wanted to be a part of it, shipped it to him.
Did he come to Nationals last year?
He did not come to Nationals, but he's been at Nationals. His team has gotten as high as a fifth place finish. So it's very exciting to have Mike Boyles come to join us. He's been wanting to come for years. So
good.
Mike to the Royals, which gives us to the second round of the draft already, guys. In the second round, there are 4 picks in the second round that are to be made. And in order, we also saw from the draft before, the Athletics will be making their first pick coming up, then the Astros, Twins, and then the Royals making their last pick of the draft. And all of these kind of have a family vibe to them. So we'll get to those in just a second. The first pick is from the Athletics. And Alex Heck, his squad's pretty full, so you would think he wouldn't really need somebody. Last year they actually drafted this player, but are redrafting him again this year, thinking that he's actually going to get some playing time. And it is his wife's brother, Braden Sikes. So, do you guys know anything about Braden at all?
No.
I really don't.
I don't either.
But I love this pick.
This is one of those picks where we know nothing about. From what we've heard, he could be a really great athlete. Alex has a lot of confidence in him, but do you see him getting any playing time on this five-man roster that's pretty heavy with playing time?
I think those 4, those established Athletics are going to be pretty greedy for playing time. I think they're going to want to try and reverse what they did last year. But really, maybe they need some new blood. I mean, they went 1-9 while they saw the Astros and Expos win more games than them.
That's true.
That's got to hurt.
Yeah, if I'm the A's, I think I'm probably releasing all of my players and just signing anyone else. Maybe you can win some more games. So
Probably
I think
Expos.
Yeah,
These guys are still
I would give him as much playing time as he wants.
And this is a team, like you said, that went 1-9, but then you look at it and their roster's full. Luke Bacula, Paul Castellano, Steve Hayes, Mike Carl. These are big names, and those are 4 players that just alone could be a fantastic team. But then their captain Alex Heck's in the mix. And then you add another rookie, that's 6 players fighting for a couple spots. I mean, they're going to have some tough playing time ahead of them. But I really think that the A's, if there's any team, a lot of people are saying that they're the ones that can improve the most.
They could shock the world. I know
Could
we say a
shock
lot. They could
again.
shock the world again.
All right. Very good. The next pick in the SWBL first-year player draft is going to the Astros with their next pick. And the Astros, Brian Benware's 3rd pick of the draft, a little bit interesting. Drafting a prospect here in this one. His daughter, Amelia Benware. Very, very young in the prospect system, but trying to snatch her up quick. And we all know Brian. Brian's pretty passionate about this game. So you got to believe that Amelia is going to be coming through the pipeline and might even break some ground as being the first woman to dominate the SWBL with Brian's passion and her stature so far.
Yeah, this is really a historic pick. We are a league that is accepting of everyone.
We are.
And having our first woman ever drafted is a pretty big deal. So I'm not sure how well she's going to be, playing in the next 10 to 15 years until she's actually eligible to play.
Yep.
But we'll just have to see.
All right. Any thoughts about this pick? A young lady who's coming in with a lot of promise. But any objections to having someone so young be a part of this? I mean, barely scratching 1 or 2 years old.
Yeah, I mean, no worries. I mean, I think Benware's smart to get her in and get her involved, and if she's got that last name, she's going to have the spirit. I've had a wife who's been begging me to get into the free agent rookie pool and play in this league, but we've been hesitant to break that gender barrier, and I think now that it's done, when my wife sees us on Twitter, she's probably going to be talking to me. She's going to want to be a Brewer.
Yes, it's a big step for the SWBL today. Should we give this up to the Astros?
Yeah.
So thank you, Astros.
Yeah,
St. Patty's Day and the Astros and to Amelia.
Cheers, Amelia.
Okay.
All right.
Just took it.
The next pick is actually the Twins.
Here it is.
And the SWBL Twins have been an organization that have signed Jimmy Cole. They have Will Rath still on their roster for pitching depth. What else could they add to this roster? And in fact, once again, being drafted again in the same rookie draft that he's been drafted in every single year, the Twins are excited to announce Mike Derstine, the selection to the Twins in the second round of the 2018 first-year player draft. Spencer, what does this pick mean to you guys?
It means everything. You can have all the talent in the world. You can be the fastest. Hit the ball the farthest out of anyone else in the league. But if you don't have the team camaraderie and the heart and soul, you're going nowhere. So we decided to add Jimmy Cole, and we felt like we needed a little bit more of that. So we're bringing in Mike Derstine. That's what he is.
Mike Derstine is a lot of heart, and Peter, he hasn't got a lot of playing time in years past. But will he get any sniff of playing time with the Twins? Do you think?
Drunk runner competition.
Drunk runner competition. Yes.
Forgot about that.
Yes, that is probably the one place that he will excel at the most, in fact. So, Mike Derstine, we're looking forward to having you back again, if you even show up for your drafted pick. All right, moving on. This is the final pick of the 2018 draft. And guys, I got to say, it's a little sentimental for me. Not only is it the SWBL Royals, but it is a big step, another historic pick for the SWBL.
Breaking age barriers here.
This will be the oldest player ever selected and ever to play in the SWBL, and it's a long time coming. We are excited to announce the SWBL Royals for the last pick in the 2018 draft, and going to actually get some playing time is Kevin Skibbe, our father, the SWBL main grounds crew, the person who hosts this in this house on this weekend every single year. Kevin Skibbe will finally step into the batter's box and step to the mound for a couple games in the 2018 season. What do you guys think about this pick, Peter?
I think this is a huge pick, immediate impact. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's going to challenge Rob Walters for fan favorite, just player. And I think if there's a large group in the pool, just hanging out, having a good time, if they hear that Kevin Skibbe's game is coming up next, they're going to be getting out of the pool. They're going to be watching.
This might be must watch. I mean, this might be the games that people request for Periscope or YouTube Live. These are the games that people want to see, probably. Wouldn't you say, Spencer?
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of fearful that there may be some scheming going along because it's all the Skibbies are on the same team now. Kevin could do something to the batter's box to affect the other team. We got to watch out for that. So.
And you actually, Spencer, are a teammate of Kevin Skibbe. We played in the Sandbar League, one of our sponsorships for the one of our divisions. And we won 2 championships with our fathers, my dad being one of them, and not bad on the mound, really.
No, he threw a lot of important innings. He got a lot of ground ball outs.
Yeah.
I think he hit a few bombs, too, as well in the batter's box, maybe put some balls in play. So, hopefully that can translate over here.
Yeah, it's a chance for somebody, and I feel like your dad is going to be a little bit upset.
Yeah, he probably has no idea.
He will after this. But there's going to be a lot of dads that are like, wait a minute, son, like why haven't you drafted me for a couple at-bats or a couple innings pitched? So we are planning on using our father on the pitching mound. We lose Tyler Flackney, and we can get a bat for a few at-bats and a couple innings pitched to save me and Gus's arms. So it'll be good to have him and just to see what he can do in this environment. So, and again, the fan favorite aspect always helps. So lots of picks happen, guys, and we are so excited to have this going on. But who do you think out of all these rookies picked will be the rookie with the most playing time, Peter? So think about that for a second. Which rookie is going to make the biggest impact, have the most playing time out of all the rookies selected so far?
I think Farkas going to a team like the Astros, who really need they need that immediate impact, and I know Brian's willing to give up 100% of whatever he wants. So I think that Farkas is going to be a big one.
Yeah, go with Boyles with the Royals because they need Boyles with the Royals.
Yeah, that's right.
And they need their fourth guy, so obviously he's going to be putting in some innings. So.
Yeah, obviously with Kevin Skibbe's age, he can't quite do the entire weekend. It takes a toll.
Don't tell him what he can.
And he's managing the household too. So.
Yes, and then so Mike will have to step into that number 4 role with Kevin supplementing a few innings here and there too. So, I agree those are some 2 great picks, and I think there are other players on this list that will get considerable playing time, but I think those 2 will have the most for sure. But looking at people like Kevin Skibbe, Braden, Sikes, and Chris Oberlohr, those are the 3 that will be eligible for the NWLA national teams. Do you think there's a possibility of all 3 of these guys getting on the national teams list for the NWLA, knowing that the NWLA doesn't really recognize a lot of rookies in other leagues? Do you think that these 3 guys will get enough playing time to cement themselves into one of those national team lists? We only have 1 last year in Jeremy Worrell. What do you think?
Yeah, I do, and it's mainly just a as long as you qualify type thing. I think they'll get enough innings and get in there and they'll play enough.
Get enough stats to where they can push them over the edge.
Yeah, at least a majority of them.
Right. And my final question to you guys, and we always end these draft videos with this, is the Rookie of the Year. Some very incredible human beings have won this award for the Rookie of the Year, including the person to my left. Peter, you have won the Rookie of the Year. You're the first ever Rookie of the Year award winner. And the trophy still stands here before you today. And out of all these picks, I know we said that Boyles and Farkas, they're going to make the biggest impact. But, people like Oberlohr, they might make a push. Bischoff might make a push. There are people on this list that could make a run at winning the Rookie of the Year title. But who, in your opinion, will win the Rookie of the Year in 2018?
I think for me, I got to stick with Farkas. I think about Oberlohr getting maybe half the games in. I think Farkas is going to get enough innings. Even his presence on the mound, I think, could add on to pretty good resume. And I think Benware is ready to sit back and let him kind of run things. And I think he's got a good chance.
Right. And Spencer, what about you?
I'm going with Boyles. I think Oberlohr just won't have the opportunity, won't have enough ABs. He may make an impact, but Boyles, being in that the Royals offense, is going to get a lot more opportunity than Farkas will. I don't know where he's going to hit, but I anticipate he's probably going to hit 4th. So he's going to have a good opportunity to get a lot of RBIs. So I'm going to pick him for Rookie of the Year.
Very good. 2 great picks again. And guys, this draft, I think we'll have some impact players in it and people that are going to get playing time. This isn't kind of the run-of-the-mill, doing a lot of joke picks. Like, these are some players that are going to get some quality playing time for those teams. And we thank all the captains. We thank all of our sponsorships, including Corner Pub and Grill, especially for always being our presenting sponsor for this one. Ruben Brown as well, and all of our division sponsors. We have Cardinal Blinds and Shutters, so thank you, Spencer, and Cardinal Blinds for being there for us. STL Sandbar and Glendale Dodge Jeep and Ram, and we also have Spencer Gear and all these people. We got our hats listed here, polos on. A new SWBL store is in the works, guys, on the website. We're very excited to announce that as well. So thank you to all of our sponsorships and everybody in the SWBL family. For myself, Sam Skibbe, alongside Peter Leicht and Spencer Bogad, this has been the 2018 first year player draft of the SWBL. So, test 1, test 2, Peter.
Test 3 and then 4, followed by 5.
And then 6, 7, 8.
What's this red thing?
That's the red. That's the red stop button on the camera.
Yeah, it'll be gone.
That's good.